Hey y'all, it's Alec with Sharing the Journey. We're ending our first month here in West Yellowstone at the KOA. And work camping has been off the chain this season. Looks like we've had people come to work drunk. We've had people take the Gator 6.5 miles into town to go grocery shopping instead of using their own car. We've had a fight between work campers. It's been crazy. So we're down, including the couple that did not show up for the season, we're already down 6 workers. The silly season doesn't normally start until 2/3 of the way through the season. We're 1 month in, but it's good and bad. It's good because Cindy and I are getting some overtime. We're working between 45 and 50 hours a week. And after the amount of money we spent coming up here, it's a welcome relief. But we've also got some news that has changed our next season and this season. So I don't know if any of y'all know, but about 7 years ago, Cindy was almost in a wheelchair. She had to have a complete hip replacement. She had terrible arthritis in her hip. And the time before last when we went home, so not for my son's funeral, but the time before that, Cindy's other hip had started acting up. And so while we were back home, she went to her doctor and they said, you know, we can give you some medicine to slow it down, blah, blah, blah. But you're gonna need to get that hip replaced too. Cindy decided to put it off as long as possible. Well, I don't know if it's the weather here, but Cindy's hip has really started getting aggravated. She's been in a lot of discomfort. Matter of fact, today she started walking with a cane again. I don't know if it's because it's the middle of June and it's 38 degrees outside and we're expecting up to 7 inches of snow tonight. I don't know if that, on top of the aggravation already, has caused problems. But because of all this, it has changed our plans for this coming winter. So as you know, this summer we're in Montana and we planned on doing a lot of touristy stuff while we were up here. Yellowstone, Tetons, going on a lot of hikes and that sort of stuff. Well, the hiking is probably out. And because of all that's happened here at the campground, our schedules have changed. Like today, Cindy is working from 10 in the morning to 7 at night. Well, I'm working from 3 this afternoon to midnight. So when we're off, we're working different schedules. Same days so far, but different schedules. So the first thing that's going to change is a lot of our YouTube content, because I do 95% of the filming, is going to be probably a lot of videos or more videos with only me and less videos with Cindy, because she's working when I'm off. Now we are going to still try to go out and do some adventures, but I think it's going to be less hiking, more stuff in the car and that sort of stuff, because she's in a lot of discomfort and pain. So what is this going to mean for next year? Correction. What is this going to mean for this upcoming winter? As y'all know from previous videos, we planned on taking October and November off so we can go finish or take care of my son's house and any finalization with any of the part we have to do with his estate and that sort of stuff. Plus, we're going to clean out our storage unit. We're going to get rid of that $479 a month bill, because if we ever do come off the road, we're not going to need another 5-bedroom 2,500 square foot house. We'd end up with a park model or something in a campground, just because people that camp are awesome and we like spending time with them. So we're going to go take care of that. And then we were going to try to find ourselves a short-term work camping job. Like I said, we've lost quite a few people here at this campground already. That happens pretty much across the board. But because of Cindy's hip problems, we are trying to make an appointment with her doctor for when we get back to South Carolina. And if so, she may end up having to have another full hip replacement. Now, the recovery time on her last hip replacement was 4 months. So I understand it's gotten a little better. She had a friend had her hip replaced actually when we went home for our son's funeral. And she had 3 months recovery. She's doing better now and able to walk. And so we're hoping for a quicker recovery. But it will mean that a winter job is probably out of the question, or if we do work, it'll just be me working, and I might go to help my son, one of my sons. He owns his own electrical company, so I may go help him as a gopher. I know that we're trying to get reservations right now in the campground that he lives in. He lives in a fifth wheel with his wife. So there's a lot of uncertainty. But the main option is, we've been having a lot of fun with this YouTube thing. And I don't know how viable it is to make it as my regular job. And so the ultimate goal would be for us to work a season up here in Montana. Montana is probably the prettiest place in the world. We love it. This is our 5th year of full-timing and our 4th season in Montana. We actually love it. We've done Polson on Flathead Lake. We've done Glacier up in Columbia Falls, and it's our 2nd season in Yellowstone. So with saying that, that's one of the reasons why, if you saw a few videos back, that we have started memberships on our channel. Members can join for as little as 99 cents a month. That would kind of propel us in the direction we want to go. Again, I'm not e-begging or whatever they call that. Just letting you know that option is there. And but I think YouTube would be a great way for us to work a season, travel a season. Right now, I'll tell you how our channel's doing. We're averaging about $225 a month. So I think that we would need to get to the point of $1,000 a month for us to be able to actually make this viable. So we're down here at the office. I thought we'd check in on Cindy and see how she's doing today. So we've made it into Cindy's office. Everybody wants to see you and how you're doing. Is it wet outside?
It's bad.
So I was telling everybody about your hip and your cane. show us your cane. It actually was Granddaddy's cane, and it's hard to believe that she's 5'2", he was 6'3", and they're using the same cane.
Well, I think it's I think it was just heirloom canes that they had kept from, you know, family members.
Right. So how's your hip feeling today?
Hurting.
Hurting?
No sugar coating for that.
No. So we're off on Friday. We're gonna go hiking?
No.
No hiking. Like I told y'all, our content's gonna change, and that's why.
For a little while. Hopefully when the weather gets better, it'll get better.
Yeah. All right, I helped Cindy move a couple things around in her office, which was good. So the plan now moving forward is to, when we get back to South Carolina, get Cindy a appointment with her doctor and possibly schedule to get her other hip replaced, so that we're not in the situation we were right before we started full-timing. As you can tell, she is very uncomfortable today. I think the weather has a lot to do with it. As the weather changes, especially when it gets cold, and as you can see, it's drizzling, soon to turn to snow, they say, in June. But as you can see, she's in a lot of discomfort. So we're going to try to make the appointment with the doctor. When we get back to South Carolina in October, she will go see the doctor. Hopefully won't be more than, I think last time we had to wait 2 or 2.5 months to get the operation. So that would be the new hip in January. And that would give her 4 months to recover. Now we would probably stay at least 2 or 3 weeks with my parents down in Bluffton, and that way she would have a traditional bed, more room to move around. If y'all looked back on our past videos, I had to have a heart ablation right when we started full-timing, and I did the recovery in our motorhome. And getting in and out of bed, there is, you know, maybe a foot, and I think it would be tough for her to do her exercises, have PT and that sort of stuff. So we will probably stay with my folks for at least a couple of weeks, and then we would come back up here the end of May. The campground opens May 20th, and she should be pretty much recovered by then. But it's going to cause some issues, because, you know, I have a retirement, but it's from a Southern Police Department, and so we have a small pension. It's enough to pay our bills, but not for us to pay campground fees and all that sort of stuff. So that's one of the main reasons I want to get back and get the storage unit closed out. So I'm trying to be as open and transparent as possible. So the goal is for us to save between $1,000 and $1,500 a month while we're here, to build up our savings back from where we depleted it with my son's funeral. And then we have about $350 a month left over from my retirement. And then if we can get rid of the storage unit, yeah, that's another $475. So let's just call that $800. So my son's campground is $450 a month plus electric. So you're looking at $550 a month. So I think if oh, and we're doing about $225 a month on YouTube. So if we get the storage locker closed out, the leftover from our retirement, YouTube at its current rate will give us about $1,000 a month. So I think if we can get YouTube up to $750 or $1,000, I won't be as nervous about taking the whole season off. And it's a short season up here. So we work 5.5 months here. So that leaves us, what, 6.5, 7 months off. So I'm just a little nervous. And I'm a little upset about if we're not doing the hiking and a lot of the fun stuff. Like, I'll give you an example. Saturday, we were gonna go to the lawnmower races up at Hebgen Lake. Would have been great content for the channel. We would have had fun. But Cindy was hurting so bad that we didn't go. Matter of fact, we barely left the camper. We did go to Bozeman to go do our grocery shopping. It's about 2 hours away. So 2 hours sitting in the car, 3.5 hours shopping, 2 hours sitting in the car again. And it took Cindy the whole next day to recover with her hip. So what can you do to help us, to help the channel? Well, number one is we ask for prayers. We ask that God gives Cindy relief on the pressure and the pain that she's feeling in her hips. And we pray that God gives me the patience to help her and not to get frustrated and stressed out and all that kind of stuff. So prayers is number one. Number two is share our channel with as many people as you feel would be interested in our content, because the more people watch our channel, the more AdSense money basically comes in. Right now our AdSense is averaging $4.50 per 1,000 views. So as you can see, our average video gets 1,000 or less. So the more people that watch, the better. But we wanted people that are interested in our content. In the description, there are ways listed that you can help our channel, and I'll let you take a look at that. But it's basically Amazon, Coffees, and PayPal. And then lastly is our memberships. We have 4 levels, a 99-cent level, a $4.99, a $9.99, and a $19.99 level. And so if you feel inclined, you get a little bit of extras with each level of memberships. If you feel inclined, I ask you to pray about it and consider if you want to help us that way. But mainly, kind, encouraging words. And if you notice, I was doing for a while a little bit of Sarasota Tim content, just because he's the one that kind of got me reinterested in doing YouTube. And then he changed and became something that I didn't want to be associated with. But his members or his followers, came over and we're not kind. And I've got enough stress in my life with work and worrying about Cindy and dealing with my son's estate and stuff, and then now Cindy's hip, and trying to plan, save, and figure out what our winter season's gonna look like. Looks like it'll be a lot of South Carolina, going between the upstate where Cindy's brother lives, the Midlands where 4 of our kids live, and the Piedmont, I think that's what it's called, the part down on the coast near Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head, that area where my family lives, my sister and my mom. So it's a long video. Appreciate y'all watching it. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But anyway, that's what's going on in our life. Bear with us over the summer, as a lot of the content is just going to be me. As Cindy starts feeling better, and I think she will when it warms up, she'll be involved more. But right now, she's in so much pain that when she gets home, all she wants to do is sit and rest. And we know sitting and resting is not great YouTube content. So anyway, until the next one, thank you all for watching, and thank you for your prayers in advance. Goodbye.